Welcome back, Sunrise. Mr. Moghalu, you were going to tell us the how. Again, we'll beg you to hold it. We have to swing back and forth and balance our time effectively. So he's talked about what he's going to do, and he was going to get into the core of it. But you started out by saying in I-10. You see, he's written his book. You haven't written the book. You've just given us a manifesto. But then you started out by saying you want to deal with the Nigerian people.
Yes.
How would that happen? He's bringing in a 37-year-old as his running mate. Who's your running mate? And a woman.
No, my running mate is a man.
Okay.
From KB State.
And how old is he?
He's 35.
35. Okay. So the youth are okay. All right. So, but then, how do you intend to get the trust of the people? Why should Nigerians even trust you?
The reason why Nigeria can trust us is Nigeria is a project, and we have to treat Nigeria so.
Are you a project manager?
Yes. And all the
Mr.
while...
Ositelu, by the way, is an engineer.
Okay.
All the while, what is happening in Nigeria is mismanagement. Nigeria is a great country. Now, Nigeria is still a great country. We will unleash the potentials of the young people by providing them what they need. Nigerians are not asking for that much. All we are asking for, all the youths are asking for, is basic electricity, basic water, and basic road. If we give Nigeria and Nigerians, especially the young people, electricity today, you will be surprised. We can compete, and we have competed at any level, anywhere on the global scale.
What's your target for electricity?
36 months.
36 months around the country.
Every corner, every village, the same with water. It is there. We are managers. We are not running or making noise. We know exactly what we are doing. We know how we do it.
He's talked about 24. I said 24 hours, 48 hours of swearing in. He's going to announce his cabinet. So are you saying that 24 hours after taking your oath of office, we're going to see work on the power sector?
Yes.
Mr. Ositelu, I'm sure that those watching you from home are going to say, this man wants to perform a miracle. We returned to civilian rule in 1999.
Yes.
So by the time you are sworn in, if you win the elections, it'll be 20 years. So what wasn't done in 20 years, you intend to do in 3 years?
Okay. Now,
they're going to be looking at you with skepticism.
Let me break it down for you. One of the things that is holding us back is the will of those who are in power. The second thing is we are always trying to do big things instead of the small things. It is the small things that is going to take care of the big things. I'll give you an example. In the 70s, during the military regime, in Lagos here, one of our governors built 3 incinerators. They were a big failure. And the reason is because we are always trying to build big things instead of starting small. Look at our roads. Why are the roads so dilapidated? Simple. Because the drainage that's supposed to go first wasn't done. It's not rocket science. We are confident what we need to do, and we will do it.
Starting small. Dr. Moghalu?
Yes.
So tell us the how. Why Nigerians should trust you.
Yes. Nigerians, I think, should trust us because we have the political will to improve the lives of the ordinary person.
That sounds like what he just said.
Yes, that's fine. There's nothing wrong if we agree.
Okay, nothing wrong. The project is Nigeria.
Exactly. I, as president of Nigeria, will see Nigeria like a corporation. And I have been entrusted by the people of Nigeria, by being elected as president, as the CEO, the chief executive officer, We will run Nigeria like a company. If you have a company that should make profit, wouldn't you perform? Wouldn't you demand performance from the person in charge? You would. That's how we will run Nigeria. Now, I talked about how we're going to do what we plan to do. For example, we will bring Nigeria to 20,000 megawatts of electricity within 2 years. Yes, let me explain. We will set up skills training centers for young people in each of the 774 local government areas within the same period. We will establish a 1 trillion naira venture capital fund that will invest in new businesses to be run by unemployed people and create millions of jobs in this way. How? There are 4 offices that will be in my presidency that will be very unique. The first is the Office of National Strategy. The second is the National Office of Risk Management. The third is the Office of Performance Management. And the fourth is the Office of Human Capital Development. These 4 offices will drive my presidency in a performance mode. The National Strategy Office will set the big strategy and the targets that we must achieve in every 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. This is why I say you have to run Nigeria like a CEO.
In this period, when we're talking about cutting down the cost of governance, you're talking about adding more offices.
No, that's not so. You will cut down the costs in many places where there is waste. Then you will invest in places that help you perform. You see what I'm saying? The Office of National Strategy will set a big strategy for 4 years of the first term. By the first 6 months, we should have achieved ABC. By the first 12 months, we would have achieved ABC. The National Office of Risk Management will help me as president manage the risks that could prevent me from delivering on the promises that we have made. Do you see what I'm saying? Those risks could be political risks, like people begin to put you under a lot of political pressure and you begin to deviate from the things you said you will do, which many Nigerian political leaders suffer from. There is strategic risk, like relying on oil for revenues. We have seen today that from the budget implementation report for the last quarter of the year, that out of the 5 trillion naira that the federal government was expecting as revenue, they have only obtained 2.3 trillion, 46% performance. These are risks that can be managed with a risk management approach, with a strategy approach. Hold on. Then we will have the Performance Management Office that will be monitoring the various departments of the government against the benchmarks that we have set in the national strategy. And then, for me as president, I can take decisions on accountability.
Okay, in all of this conversation, the two of you have been speaking about the office of the president.
Yes.
But you have 3 tiers of government. You have the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature.
That's true.
And so far, we've noticed in all the democratic dispensation so far since 1999, there's been that friction between the 3 of them here and there. Legislature not standing or not supporting the moves of the executive and all of that. And budget is delayed, budget is padded and all of that. So at the end of the day, how are you going to, we have to make this real quick, how are you going to manage this relationship, this process between the 3 tiers of government? So make it real quick so I can respond.
The secret is leadership. Leadership is a collaborative effort. And leadership begins with a vision. Visioning. When you define the vision as a leader and you say to all those who are involved in the project, in this case, Nigeria, this is our vision, then you, as a leader, you have to motivate them. You have to mobilize them. You have to encourage them, and you have to take calculated risks. So you will sit down with the President of the National Assembly, the Speaker of the House. You don't discuss with the judiciary. Judiciary does not discuss with politicians, or they shouldn't. So they manage themselves. But with the National Assembly, you can sit down and have a discussion and say, look, here is our enlightened self-interest in achieving so and so. We will all take credit. You too will take credit. Politicians like
Do you think they'll buy into that vision?
I think that if you are persuasive and clear enough and you show respect, I think they will buy into it.
Yes, we are visionary leaders. And we are not promising Nigerians that we are going to solve all Nigerian problems. We are coming to solve between 10 and 20% of our problem.
In how many? In 3 years?
In 3 years. Because the 4th year is usually going to be...
My target is 50%.
Now, one of the things that we know is 20% of the causes is 80% effect. So what we are feeling right now is not exactly what people think. In as much as we will, and I'm telling you now,